Hello everyone, it's Amy and I am here for week 10 of Build Your Stash and Craft. And this week we are going to make dragonflies. So here are two that I made. Now these were samples that I made with the super glue that we have and the PVA glue, or the Elmer's school glue. And they work just fine and they're very solid when they dry. The only thing is that with both of them, you have to do the wings and the body, let it dry, and then put the antenna on the back. They don't stick well right at the beginning. You have to put them together and just let them sit, and every so often just go by and kind of push your center down until it dries. So that's why we're going to use our tacky glue. It works much better. It grabs very fast. So what we're going to need is we're going to need our flowers and some wire, our scissors, our wire cutters, which actually I didn't show you the package last week, so the wire cutters come on a package like that. And if you don't have that, hopefully you got a different pair of scissors, our bling, and some glue. So all you do is you start out by just taking one of your flowers, popping the center out, which doesn't want to come out for me. Of course, always on the video, we'll take it off the back. Now it wants to come out. Take it off the wire first, I guess. And then take these parts, and I put these aside because this would make a really good texture. And let me show you just really quick. If you've got something like this that you want to do texture with, but it's very flat, like you want to use it on our jelly plate that we're going to be making soon, or you want to put it on a piece of paper or something to put some texture on, but there's nothing to hang on to, and if you go to pick it up, you're going to mess up your paint. All you do is just take a piece of your masking tape, and I also did this, I forgot to show you on the stamps that we made. I did this on the stamps too, and then they just fold down. So you take your masking tape and you fold it in half at the middle, but holding a little piece out on each side. Press that together, and then these two pieces that you have holding out, just put that right on whatever it is that you want to use as a stamping tool, but you can't get a hold of it. Because now you've got that, you just stamp on there, you pick it up, it doesn't get in your way, it will fold over when you put it away. So that's just a way to lift a stamp. Okay, so we're going to put these two things aside and get started now with our dragonflies. So what we need to do is we need to just take some of our wire. I've already got some out here. And we'll do some with the red wire, and we'll do some with the silver wire. You could do it with the black too. I just don't really care for the black. I'm just trying to get that little kink out of there, so I was just using my paintbrush handle just to flatten that out. Okay, so then we're just going to clip a piece. This is probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. Maybe 4. Definitely not 5. Fold it in half so that it's even, and then pinch your center together like this. And what I do is I just kind of, when you pinch it together, it doesn't want to come to a real point right there, but you don't want it to, because you want something for your glue to grab onto to hold onto it. So then once I get it folded like that, I just bring my 2 antennas out like this and straighten it out to however you want it, and then you just curl them over, and you can do that using a handle of something. And I like to use my paintbrush to do the very end because I can get a nice little curl that way. Oh, I hope I wasn't totally out of shot. Just wrap that around there like that. And so there we go. We've got our antenna. We can make them however we want them, and we'll set those aside. Now, take one of your flowers and your scissors, and all we're going to do is we are going to go between 2 petals, and cut right to the center, just like that. Okay, we're going to do that every 2 petals. We're going to leave 2 petals together, and then we're going to cut to the center, right to a little point, so it has that little point on it. And we're just going to go every 2 flowers. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we have enough here to make 4 dragonflies. Now we're just going to take our bling. Now my bling is 6 wide, so I just went ahead on the ones I showed you and cut it the same way that we cut for last week, right up against it so we don't have the little hairs. But when Papa saw it, he said it wasn't long enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll try one with 8, and I'll show it to him later and see if he likes that. Because yes, he looked at it and he said, well, that's just not long enough to be a dragonfly. The body wasn't long enough, so we'll do one with 8 also. And there we go. Put this aside. Alrighty. Now we're going to take 2 of our petals, which are going to be our wings, and we are going to cut it. Now what we're going to do is you want to make sure your petals are open to here. You want to leave probably about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch past that point. I just kind of cut. Let me get my finger out of the way. Kind of right there. And that just leaves, see, just that little part where it's hooked together. Don't throw this away because we're going to use that to attach our antenna. So keep your little triangle and you're going to cut them like that. Then all you're going to do, this is just so simple, oops, is take your tacky glue and put your glue right on that little part that was left, that little flat part, and then you're just going to put your other little flat part right to it. Attach those together. Oops, I stuck it to my paper. So, and this is going to have to dry a bit too. And depending on your, I think depending on your flower petals, because I had some other flowers I made this out of a long time ago, and they stuck together really quickly. So, it may be whatever these petals are made of that it doesn't want to stick like right away. But I'm going to put these on parchment paper so that they don't stick to my paper. There we go. Just want those pressed together well. Alrighty, now we're going to we'll take our 8, since Papa says that, and I'm just going to put a little dab of glue, probably about 4 of these. Leave the very top one empty, because that's going to be the head of your dragonfly, so you're going to put that one, you're going to put the top one just over your petals. Just like that. So you have that head sticking up. I guess he's right. I think it does look better with the longer body. Alrighty, now we're going to take our antenna. You can let that dry for, let's let that dry for just a few minutes while we do our silver antenna. I just need to find the start of my wire. Okay, here it is. Now what I do is I leave this piece wrapped around my wire to keep it together, and then I just feed this through. You can see where it starts sticking out to know which one it is that's coming out. And then that just, otherwise if you take this little wrap of wire off your wire, it will just want to unravel and go everywhere. I just want to straighten this out a little bit and then make a cut, 3-4 inches probably. And these are not the best wire cutters, but they do work. There we go. And put that aside. Now again, I'm going to fold it in half, pinch the bottom together until it doesn't want to go together anymore, and you wind up with that little kind of loop there. And then I'm just going to push that one in and pull my antenna out, go to the other side at the same point and hold it right there if I can, and pull the antenna out, and then just give that a pinch, and that leaves us with that little loop. And that's, whoops, There, that's better. This is the little loop that makes it easier to glue. It gives the glue really something to grab onto. There we go. There was a bend right there, so I was trying to straighten that out. And then I'm just going to use my paintbrush handle and just hold the end of the wire. And this is thicker than the red, so it's a little harder to do. And then go to the other side. And you want to make sure, unless you want this to go straight down like that, if you want it to curve in a little bit, you have to make sure that you push that end of the wire right up against your paintbrush. Otherwise it will just want to stay straight. There we go. That looks good. Except I think I'm going to bring them in just a little bit. I don't think they need to be that wide. There. Alrighty. Now I'm going to show you what to do with this one, how to attach. We're going to turn our dragonfly over. We're going to take one of those triangles and we're going to put some glue on it and put a little glue just underneath the head on the wings in the center. And then we're going to take our antennas, set it in that glue, and then take our triangle wide part towards the top, because the wide part will fit behind your first top two wings, and then that little point will run down the body and it will hide. It won't stick out between your wings. And then just give that a press on there. Make sure it stays down instead of sticking to your fingers. And set it aside to dry. Adjust my antennas to try and keep them in the middle, and then you can also bend those around a bit afterwards. I do think that this whoops, I think whatever this material is, the glues are not liking it very well, but I'm going to leave that there. Make sure it stays in place. I'm going to give that a little bit of time to really get tacky, and then I will press it down some more. So then let's make one more with our silver. And this one has a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see it, it's just got a little extra sticking out there, so I'm just going to trim that off. There we go. Alrighty, we're going to just glue these together and put our body in the middle and put our antennas on it the way we did the other one. I'm going to be back in just a minute because it's not going to want to upload if I don't stop right here, so I'll be back in just a second. We'll finish that one when I come back. Okay, I'm back. This is the first one that we did, and I did turn it over and push the triangle down, and it, you know, it sealed up really nicely, but I did have to let it sit for just a few minutes. So that's how that looks. Now, if you can see, like this side right here, the antenna's kind of off the side of the head. So all I do is once it's dry, then I just go ahead and I just push that over a little bit and just adjust everything to exactly the way that I want it. And then I look, yep, I like the way that that looks, so that one, let's put it this way, that one is done. So there's that one. And now this one I did while I was waiting to upload, and now I have glued the antennas on the back, but if you'll see, it's still standing up because I couldn't push it down right away. That's been about 2 or 3 minutes. And now I'm going to push it down and push it down on both sides so that it attaches to the wings. And now it's not standing up anymore and it's attached right to the wing. So you may have to do that if you have this type of flower that for some reason the glue doesn't want to stick right away. But now I'm going to let that dry. This one, the antenna's off just a little bit too, but I'm going to let that back dry before I go ahead and adjust that antenna. So here's the one that we were working on when I uploaded that last little bit. So I already had this one cut with the 6, so we're going to make this one, even though the 8 does seem to look better. Oh, my glue is stuck. Whoa! Sorry about that. That was kind of loud. Okay, let's see. Got a lot out here, so I'm going to need some on my body. So I'm just going to put some on the body and set that upside down. Spread this out. There we go. That was a lot of glue. I'm glad I got my parchment here because that definitely would glue to my paper. And I'm just going to put my body on there with the little head sticking up over the top. Oh, I'm glad that glue dries clear because it's squishing out everywhere. Okay, we're going to let that dry for a few minutes since we've got so much glue on it. And it's good to let it sit for a few minutes anyways before you flip it over. Okay, now I have this one that I have done the wings and the body to, and I thought we would just do one more set of antenna. So again, take your wire, fold it in half, and then just pinch the bottom together. And then when you get it pinched so that it still has a little bit of a gap, just use your fingernails or even just your fingers just to push that together in the center and leave yourself that little loop, just so you have something to glue to. And then you can, I don't know, I kind of like the way that those look. I think for right this second, I'm going to leave this and see how it looks once I put it on my dragonfly. I can always curl them later because I kind of like that look of it just sticking up like that. So that one I'm going to leave. So we'll flip this one over. Put some glue right there in the center of the top wing above the body. Set that on there. Take one of our triangles. Oh, come on. And we want the flat part at the top because that'll hide behind the wings. Get some glue on there. And then put that right on top of the antenna. I'm learning. Let it sit for a minute and it will stick together better. Let's see if we can get this off the parchment without pulling it apart. There we go. Flip it over. Now we'll take our antenna for that one. Put a little glue on the top wing just under the head. Whoa, a little shaky today. Put that on there. Oh no, I pulled it apart, which doesn't matter, it'll stick back together. There we go. All right, I think I like this triangle just a little bit bigger, so I think I'm going to use this one. There we go. Drop it, then pick it up. Well, drop it and then try and pick it up. Put a little bit more glue on it. And put that right on top of your antenna with the flat part at the top of your top wing. Okay, now this one has set for a few minutes. Of course, my hands are all covered with glue. Hopefully it doesn't stick. And push that down. Push down both sides to make sure that it attaches to the wing because you want it to basically wrap around that antenna. And there we go. That is stuck right to the wings now. It's not sticking up anymore. So we'll just let that one dry. Okay. And I'm going to give this one just a few minutes, especially with how much glue I have on here, before I push that one down. So that is our dragonflies. I think that they turned out very well. I think they're quite pretty, and I hope that you have fun making them. And I did figure out with that bunch of flowers I have, because I can get 4, there's 2 layers on each flower, and I can get 4 out of each layer. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 6, so that gives me 48 dragonflies that I can make out of that one bunch of flowers. And with how much bling that you use, which is not much, you can make a lot of dragonflies for a very minimal amount of money. So I will be back in just a minute to show you how this one turns out, and to show you what we need for next week. Okay, I'm back for my final part. So here are the 4 finished dragonflies that we made. And I think they turned out cute. I think I probably will adjust his antennas to look more like the others. And other things that you could do with these, I turned a couple of my sample ones that I had into tacks so that I can use those on my tack board. And that's going to look really cute. And then also I put one on a paper clip. And the other thing you can do is you can use your clear nail polish to make them shine. You can use your sparkly nail polish to make them sparkle. You can do all sorts of things with them. But these are our dragonflies that we made. And then just one other thing is that what I do with my flowers then is I separate them because I never use them as a whole. So they're easier to store this way, for me anyways. So I just pulled off all of my flowers. And then I used one of my bowls just to keep my extra centers and backs in. And I used another one of my bowls to just keep my little extras. And I can put my extras from anything in here. And then you've just got, you've just got a place where you keep all your extra things. And I kept the leaves. And then I'll just put these in one of my bowls or something. And then like with the leaves, let's get one that's not all curled up. Like there's the leaf. And what could you use that for? Well, we have this flower that we made last week. And when you put the leaf behind it, it makes it look just even better. So, those are the types of things that you can do. You could even make like an orangish flower or a yellow flower and layer it with the daisy or the sunflower behind it. That looks really pretty. Not necessarily with this color, but there's all sorts of things you can do with your extras besides just make dragonflies. So that's what we did for this week, and I'm going to just quick move these aside. And don't forget also, I kept my wire too, the stems, because this is wire inside here, and you may need, and it's a heavier wire, so you may need that for something, so go ahead and keep that also. And what we're going to need for next week, oh, and these little bits that came off the back of my leaves, these ones I will not keep. They're just, I can't think of anything really to do with them. So, but for next week we are going to need, that aside, we are going to need washable markers. Now make sure that you get washable markers and not permanent markers. So I got these at the Dollar Tree. And then this is a 2-pack. Flip it the right side around. This is a 2-pack of snap closure envelopes, and all you actually need is, these are made out of plastic. These are just a nice shiny flat plastic, not textured. You just need something where you're going to get 2 of these. So envelope file folders that they have there that are plastic, or any 2 large size plastic sheets you're going to need. And then this is from Walmart, and this is where we're using our saved money. This is $5.48 at Walmart, and it is 110 pounds, and there are 150 sheets. Now, also at Walmart, they do have 80 sheets of 65 pound, but that's $3.98, so that's $4. For an extra $1.50, you can get almost twice as much, plus your weight. The weight tells you how thick your cardstock is. So 110 pounds is a nice weight. You could use that to make cards. By the time you put something on the front of it, it's really going to stand up well. And then we're going to be able to use this paper with our jelly plates. So also start saving your extra, anything extra that you find in your junk mail that you think is cool, in magazines, any kind of extra papers that you're going to be able to use on your jelly plate. So this is what we are going to need for next week. Also, if you have a spray bottle, if you have come up with one of those yet, this spray bottle had I think like a body spray in it. And I do have one also that was hairspray, but my hairspray really sprays a really hard, like straight mist or, straight stream, where this one is very misty. But if you don't have a spray bottle, you don't have to have one. You can still do this without it. So, and I will show both ways next week. So this is what we're going to need for next week. We have $5.50, $6.50, $7.50. So we have $3 saved. We're going to use $2.50 of our $3 saved. We'll only have 50 cents left. But don't forget to save your money, because we're going to need that to add up for our jelly plate. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed making the dragonflies, and I hope that you like, well, that tack decided it was going to tack itself right into that piece of paper. I hope that you enjoyed making these, and you can see the other, added things that you can do with them. I appreciate you watching, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.